We're live.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, hanging in there. So,
Fantastic. Well, this is
yeah.
obviously on my Facebook. Um, I'm Chelsey Franklin, head of the Franklin to Remax Alliance with Aaron German, Home Mortgage Alliance. Wanted to give a market update from lending perspective, and then I can just jump in and say some things what I'm seeing with my clients, what our industry's doing, speak to the industry in response to COVID-19. But yeah, it's obviously some crazy times. We're showing restrictions have been lifted, which has been great for us. What are you seeing in the mortgage and lending world?
Chelsey, what I'm seeing are still record low interest rates. And we're talking low threes, sometimes in the twos. And it's just a great time to buy because when we were looking at the industry a year or 2 years ago and we were up against just higher interest rates, I mean, depending on the loan amount, a full percent in interest rates can be several $100s a month. And though COVID-19 can be daunting and a little intimidating, I think it's still a great time to become a homeowner because when you're looking at a 30-year mortgage, you can save several $100s a month and tens of thousands of dollars in interest over the life of the loan.
Yeah,
And I place a lot of encouragement for homeowners to continue to, and first time home buyers and those who are interested in owning a home, to just get out there and talk to your lender, talk to me.
yeah,
I'd be happy to give you a price quote, and
yeah,
99 times out of 100, it's going to be a really good deal.
yeah,
I'm seeing that lending regulations are still low. I mean, our company, sure, we do need to verify that you're still employed and things like that. That happens with any loan, but nonetheless, the regulations, you don't need a 720 credit score with 20% down to buy a house. I mean,
yeah,
that's just not realistic. There's
yeah,
first time home buyer programs, there's veteran home programs, there's government programs. I mean, these programs just haven't gone away.
yeah,
And in fact, they've gotten better. So the low interest rates have just been a huge advantage for home buyers during this time. So
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think as since the showing restrictions have been lifted, we've had a lack of inventory, and then sellers didn't want to have their home listed because they had a fear of the virus being brought into their home. We have standard
sure.
precautions for masks and gloves, sanitize and wipe things down. And now that people are physically allowed to enter a home, because it's hard to sell something virtually,
Right.
I'm already seeing, I mean, I went on 3 listing appointments yesterday. So I think
Wow.
other agents are probably doing the same. We're going to see a lot more
Hmm.
inventory hit the market. Um, and it's a good time. And supply
Right.
and demand, though, right? So we just haven't had the inventory. Um, and then caught winds that builders are going to start raising their base prices. So this isn't a housing crisis,
Right.
crisis.
Right.
So we'll
Yeah,
be prepared for it.
it's wonderful. I think that the business is strong as ever. So
Yeah, yeah. Have you had people wanting to hold off buying anything until all of this is officially passed, until there's a solution for COVID?
I've had people ask the question, and I
Yeah,
think it's an extremely valid question. I think to ignore the elephant in the room would be, foolish. I think it's something that I'm addressing with almost everybody, and to just kind of reiterate that confidence, and that, look, we know that COVID is going to come to an end at some point, as in the epidemic, the crisis of it. Eventually, there will be a vaccine. Eventually, people will get better. There's all of these things that there's an extreme light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah,
What we don't know is that will interest rates remain low? And kind of going back to my first point there, a full percentage in interest rate, sometimes 2%. I mean, 2 years ago, an interest rate in the mid fours was considered really good interest.
You did it.
Now, we're mid threes. I mean, that if we're looking at this 2 years ago, we're saying, my gosh, if that ever happens, it's just, sound the alarms. It's happening.
Yeah.
And, that's stress enough that, though, again, it is a scary time. And, I wish wellness for everybody out there and their families. But when it comes to a future investment, when you're investing in real estate, A, you need a place to live, or B, you want to invest in your future 25, 30 years down the road, whatever your timeline is. You want to look at it from a timeline of that. You want to acknowledge the fact that you're looking at a long-term investment here. And how can you make that better? You make that better by capitalizing and taking advantage of the best possible deal that you can currently get, and that you could, I mean, when you look historically, it is the lowest, the best the interest rates have ever been.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, how is it not green light? That's the conversation I'm having with people. Is I'm running the numbers. I'm putting it down on paper in front of them where they can see, wait a second. So I'm essentially giving myself a raise, in other words, by saving a couple grand a year in monthly payments. Right?
Yeah.
So whereas if you wait, the non-guarantee is that interest rates will remain as low as they are. They go like this, interest rates fluctuate with the market, and currently they're the absolute lowest they've ever been. I think it's a wonderful time to invest, and I think that it's just, it will save you the most money to capitalize on those rates now.
Yeah, I love that you talk about it as an investment. That's my favorite part of real estate. I preach that a lot because I flip homes, and my husband and I are growing a rental portfolio.
Sure.
So yeah, it's your primary. You want to love where you live, make a house a home. There's an emotional component when you're buying a primary. You move your family to a new house. But it's a lot of money. I mean, it's the biggest purchase that most people are going to make in their lifetime. So you might as well, I mean, a loan's going to cost you money. So might as well pay the least amount as possible.
You got.
On top of that, too, we've been seeing, got beat out on 2 offers this week. One home had 9 offers within 24 hours, price point $500,000 in Longmont. Another one, Firestone, price point $350,000. I don't even know how many offers they ended up giving in on it. So even going over, asking, haven't really seen too many issues on my end with appraisals, but it's good to look at it through the lifetime of the loan. But
Chelsey, I'm seeing the same thing where we're kind of in the midst of a lot of refinances. I'm reaching out to past clients, doing a lot of refinance transactions, and there's always that concern of, will it appraise? And what I'm seeing is appraisals are coming in at value as expected. And in a lot of cases, they're coming in high. So I think that's a great indicator of a healthy market, regardless of, the other elements that we're up against currently.
To hit on that just a little bit further too, it's been interesting running comps for my sellers or for buyers. We've got this blurb in time that's like, okay, here's past 6 months, but then here's 3 months where we weren't allowing showings. Here's the COVID months. Maybe we push it back a little bit further. Maybe we go back to spring of 2019. I think appraisers are taking that into account as well.
Sure.
But fantastic. Well, all right. That's all. That's perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you so much, Chelsey, and everybody out there. Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about your investment. Let's put it down on paper. Let's talk about where you want to live and find you the right place. And I can assure you that we'll do everything in our power to save you the most money.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm going to tag all of your information. Reach out to
Please.
Aaron.
That'd be great.
He's the best in the West.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. All right. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.